Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you a brand new series. This is a Korea-China Invitational series, or Invitational League, I guess it says technically. But this is basically a show match series that is going to be comprised of 9 full maps between some of the lower to mid-tier Korean pros and the best that China has to offer. So definitely some very high-level play. Right here on the left side for our first match coming from Korea, someone that you guys, if you watch this channel a lot, should recognize. It's Paralyze, formerly known as the Protoss, a very strong Protoss player, not quite ASL caliber yet, but getting there. Very, very good player. His opponent is going to be from China for these next 9 maps. It's XiaoShuai. XiaoShuai, certainly one of the best, if not the best, Zerg in China. Very, very strong. Lots of high finishes. Did very well in one of the BSL seasons also. So, should be fun. He's a very aggressive Zerg, and you already see, well, I guess it's an overpool, not like a 9 pool, but yeah, pool first coming out of him. So yeah, anyways, even if this goes 9-0, we're going to be playing all 9 maps. Should be some interesting series. Some of the, the very best Chinese players are all playing, including players like me, who obviously XiaoShuai is one of the best as well. And a big thanks to CasterMuse for putting this on. Very exciting to see. I'm really kind of excited about that Chinese scene. At least the very top of it is very, very strong. And I can't wait to see if they can actually beat some of the Korean pros. All right, so anyways, it is Neosilphate. You can see by the scout pattern he was looking for an incoming overlord and then decided to veer down into the right-hand base. Of course, he'll get down here and see, okay, that is an overpool, and know exactly what to do with that as far as his zealots coming out of that gateway expansion. But yeah, just, pretty standard openers. These are ones that we see pretty often. And while we wait for it to pick up some, guys, thank you, everyone, for checking out ArtosisCasts. Hope that you enjoy the wide variety of games that we've been having lately. We are going to get into another CNSL, CasterMuse Narok Star League, coming up relatively soon here. We still have a lot of the RISS matches, which I think have been really fun from the very top of the non-Korean scene. And, of course, I like this mixture as well, right? Seeing the Korean pros try to take on these very, very strong Chinese players who seem to have, like, a growing scene right now. It's, like, really exciting, actually. I was doing a bit of research into it, and they are actually having a fair amount of tournaments over there. So that's kind of exciting. It would be great to have more than one country kind of competing for those top titles over time. So, anyways, this is just, a little bit of zealot harassment. Very good micro there from Paralyze. Using his probe to put those extra hits onto the Zerglings. Don't forget that 1 probe hit and 2 zealot hits does kill a Zergling, or 2 probe hits and 2 zealot hits kill a drone. So, very, very useful to have a probe with your zealot. It really just reduces the amount of hits. It makes the zealot so much more efficient. Of course, there's some nice micro as well, just kind of pulling back. Zerglings attack more quickly, so if you can hit and then move, that's always going to be better. That's why you want to do surrounds like we just saw from XiaoShuai there. Now, another zealot sticking himself between this gas and these minerals. Just being very, very annoying. XiaoShuai has to deal with that. You can't just leave it there. If you start mining from drones up here and you send the lings across the map, obviously the zealot will just pop out and do some harassment. Here, he put the drones specifically on the furthest patch, so he has the most time to react when the zealot walks out. What was that? What were we thinking there? Yeah, he might have been thinking about, like, putting an attack on, right? The drone actually has some slight range to it. Anyways, going back to Paralyze's base, you can see he's playing very defensively. He has 3 zealots holding off this wall. Photon cannon on the way, and already a shield battery. The shield battery is actually incredibly important. If they do a ling all in, you generally can't hold it unless you have that shield battery. So really cool to see. The zealot going for a little harass in the main base. Some good drone drilling there from XiaoShuai. So unable to get real damage with this yet. Even causing some lost mining time, causing more Zerglings made. All these things are pretty big deals coming out of XiaoShuai. So very good job there. Cybernetics core on the way. And, you know, honestly, there's like a decent amount of action in this early game, right? Like, there's been some interesting Zealot harassment from Paralyze. Again, I really do like his play. I think he's a very good up-and-coming Protoss player. And I don't say that too lightly. But I think it's an interesting thing. Like, there's so many rising Protosses right now. And I think that the top line of Protoss is in need of that little bit of refreshing, right? Like, right now we see, for instance, Ruin really rising up and doing a great job in ASL as of late. And, you know, we have these other players like Mighty and like Paralyze and, you know, a few others that are getting very good. Mighty, unfortunately, is banned from ASL, at least for the time being. But, you know, it's good to see the up-and-coming Protoss players really putting themselves out there, playing lots of matches, getting a lot of practice in. Because I think we do need them to replace some of the older line. People like Stork, who, you know, is not playing, it seems, as much as he used to. You know, Rain kind of inactive as well. And, you know, yeah, I guess the Protoss line just hasn't been as thick up at the top lately, right? Like, Mini, Bisu are both doing very well. Best, Snow. But after that, it drops off a little bit, it feels like. Anyways, the Ling's kind of holding a containment up at the front. +1 is about halfway done. Legs and +1 attack for Corsairs are coming. And this is a Hydralisk speed being upgraded, and it's 4 hatches. So this is not like a regular push from XiaoShuai, right? Like, we know about 3 hatch Hydra. Everyone knows that build. But this is 4 hatch. So it's like, I don't know. It's very heavy on gas as well. Let me actually take a look, right? So yeah, it's more drone heavy. So 5 drones. 5 drones. Okay, so that's actually equal anyways. So no, it's actually, and let's check here, right? So that's 9. Okay, so that's actually exactly how many drones you normally have for 3 hatch Hydra, except he has 3 more because he's mining from this geyser. So it's slightly higher economy, and I believe that that's just mostly gas based. Or maybe I'm going completely crazy right now. Maybe that's completely normal to have that there. I don't know why I'm misremembering the build order. Anyways, 973 it's known as, right? 9 drones, 7 drones, 3 drones, but 5 and 5 split is completely fine. You have enough, you know, as long as it's not more than 1 per patch at a particular base, you're gonna get better mining. Anyways, a bunch of Zealots are out and roaming about a little bit. He knows that there's Hydras out, so we'll see how many cannons he makes. He has killed off the shield battery. That's actually incredibly important. The shield battery gets in the way of cannons against a big Hydra bust. Now, the bust is coming, but it seems like he feels confident enough with his Zealots. I don't think he should, though. This looks really bad. I guess actually he has 2 Dark Templars being made. Excuse me. So that should be able to help wipe this out, since we don't have any more overlords in the area. It looks like getting on top of the cannons. Right now, you might be feeling like this is a victory for XiaoShuai, but yeah, as 2 DTs pop out, those will shred these Hydras so quickly. And again, I don't see any overlords on the way. There's no overlord speed, of course, because the layer has not been made as of yet. He's actually picking off quite a bit with those Hydras, but now finally the DTs get on top of these Hydras. Let's see what XiaoShuai can actually get done before the Dark Templars kill off every single Hydralisk. Oh my god, this is kind of crazy right now. Like, he is getting a lot done with those Hydras, but the DTs are stacking up the kills at the moment with that +1. They are 2-swiping every single Hydra in here. Oh my god, look at those Hydras just get completely picked off. He loses the Nexus, unfortunately. Obviously, there's not a lot of drones over on the side of XiaoShuai. You can see he lost a lot. Well, at least he had to transfer some of them over there. Has taken some damage, a lot of lost mining time as well. The 2 DTs have killed a huge amount of Hydras, 9 and 8. So 17 Hydras killed there. But losing the Nexus might be an even bigger deal. This army running out. Can he actually get any damage done? Because it feels like there's enough Hydras defensively from XiaoShuai that Paralyze shouldn't be able to really run in here and do anything. Like, look, he's got an Overlord here, plus 8 Hydras. You're not going to break through that too easily. In fact, 2 more Hydras going up. The DTs, I mean, he does pick up another Hydra kill, but not enough, I think, to run up here and break through these Hydras on the ramp. Like, the melee units have a hard time going up a small ramp like this, and you're going to see that reflected here, right? Like, that doesn't work. Not even close. If every one of these units was swiping at the same time, they would beat this. But when you're going in, like, double, you know, shoulder to shoulder, like, 2 at a time, absolutely not. It's just not going to occur. So Overlord speed on the way. This might be how XiaoShuai wants to finish it, is getting Overlord speed so that the DTs can't do anything else and doing a counterattack. But we might actually have Storm ready, right? Some High Templars are popping out. We saw Storm being researched before, so I got to assume Storm is done at this point. Spire is on the way in the back of the Natural here. It seems like XiaoShuai's economy is more than big enough, right? Like, he's actually got a decent drone count considering the way this game has looked so far. Ooh, that's a good Storm. Pushes him back from the wreck. Now, that's a move from Paralyze. He's going to get on top of these Hydras, and the Hydras don't have too much of a shot. Now, I love that he goes back behind the mineral patches here and trying to utilize, you know, the smaller paths where it's harder for the Zealots to run through. He brings up his reinforcements, and he is going to be able to save this base, losing just a few Hydras here. So an excellent defense from XiaoShuai. I got to say, this is looking better and better and better for XiaoShuai, who, by the way, with almost 500 gas and a Spire finishing, that feels like he's going to have an advantage that you can't fight against. There's no cannons here. What's the Corsair count? It's not many. We see 1 here. He had 3 previously, and this one's really damaged. He may have lost them all. And in that case, it's like, well, Mutas will just kill you. Like, they will kill so much of your economy. Yeah, down goes another one. Oh, the High Templar getting picked off. Not enough energy for a Storm there either. The cannons are beautifully placed. You can't really attack into there, especially with this many High Templars sitting back. But yeah, I'm just waiting for the Mutas to be made. If he makes any and goes to that main base, it is going to be lights out for Paralyze. Of course, he can't completely know that. He could assume that Paralyze has a bit of anti-air. Maybe he's, you know, this could be a game in which you see a Dark Archon to try to grab some of those. This could be a game in which you have like a hidden High Templar in the main base waiting for those Mutas. But of course, we can see, you know, as being the observers here, that Paralyze really just does not have anything. I don't know. I don't think he honestly can do anything if the Mutas fly into his main base. Like, you have to run the probes. You probably need to Storm and make an Archon. So maybe you make an Archon right away because it's crucial, and then Storm. But we don't even have Dragoon range started. So, like, there's no real way for him to get out of his base even. Going up to 6 gates now. You know, in a way, it feels like Paralyze has built his way back into this game. But again, without the defense against these Mutas, you know, it only takes 5 to one-shot a probe. This is going to be bad. He's going to get a lot of damage here. Paralyze not going to be happy with what's going on. Every single attack here, every volley killing off a probe, that is a huge amount of damage. Already brings the probe count down to 35. Now, Storms are going to go off. He's dodging. That was an excellent dodge. Barely takes any damage from the first Storm. Flying through. Going to go after the actual probes here once again. Gets a Storm of... Okay, a better Storm there. Throws another Storm down, but the damage continues onwards. Corsair pops out. And, I mean, they've already taken some damage, so they will turn around and run. I mean, if you stay and fight the Corsair and one more Storm lands, you will lose your Mutas. But, of course, the Mutas would beat the one Corsair just alone. Now, the Corsair, in fact, goes up. Yeah, he's got to run out of there. More Mutas on the way. Okay, jumps onto the High Templar. Oh, my God. The Storms are pretty good here. But 3 more Mutas he didn't, or 4 more Mutas, he didn't have everything stacked, which means we are going to see a lot of High Templars die. Oh, this is absolutely brutal. In the meantime, a lot of Zealots going across for a counterattack. It looks like all the High Templars were killed off, but maybe these Zealots can get something done. The Hydralisk count is very, very small. There is one sunken. The eggs actually screw up the Zealots a lot there, blocking a lot of the paths. Not able to get the surface area he was looking for. Going to go ahead and run by partially here. That sunken going to end up falling just barely. Oh my God, one swipe from falling, so it doesn't go down as Zealots in the main base trying to pick off any drones that they can right now. Man. I mean, the counterattack was certainly a good idea, but I think the damage dealt over here, the fact that Paralyze had to spend 6 High Templars to get rid of the Mutas and still we have Mutas left over. This is a winning position for XiaoShuai, 100%. Like, if he loses this, he is really going to be kicking himself. If you lose this one, like, are you going to be able to win any games? But I mean, I don't see any reason that he's not able to finish this off. He's got a good clump of mutas, very few High Templars out, right? Like the first, well, not the first couple, but you know, the only couple High Templars just popped out. No Psystorm ready. Okay, a couple Corsairs. Okay, +2 armor on the way. Yeah, that's good upgrades. That's good upgrades. But he doesn't even have his Dragoon range. It's going to take a while to get out of here. In the meantime, we already have Lurker upgrade on the way here for XiaoShuai. As you can see, almost done, so you're going to need to spend gas on Observers as well as Paralyze. He does have that Robotics. I don't actually see an Observatory, which is certainly an issue. The mutas continue to harass a bit. There are more Corsairs being made. Of course, you can't even get +1 for them in this case. I wonder if he got +1 to begin with. No, he didn't. See, just the +0. And, I mean, 2 Corsairs against this. It's just not doable. He's trying to lure some back. Maybe get some free volleys from his Dragoons. Of course, the Dragoons having a hard time as the probes pad through them. Oh, it's so painful. But, yeah, XiaoShuai is not going to fall for that trick anyways. Now, Paralyze sending a Zealot out on the map. Get a little bit of scouting done here. He's going to check out 12 o'clock. The Hydra's roaming about, just trying to keep the map pretty clean at the moment. Lots of macro going down. Like, the amount of Hydralisks is getting to be pretty insane here from XiaoShuai. He has got a large amount of supply right now. And the Muta's actually flying a Mass Dragoon Corsair, so obviously that's not going to be ideal. The army is pretty good for Paralyze. It looks like he's going to have about 4 storms. I guess another High Templar popping out, so maybe 5 storms. In the next battle that we see. But those storms are going to have to be amazing because the supply right now, the macro right now from XiaoShuai, like, look, he's got 4, 5, 6 hatch Hydra going on. He has some lurkers. He's going to have +1 going up against about 1-2 upgrades. So definitely better upgrades there. But like XiaoShuai with the numbers, I think, isn't going to mind about that too much. Now, the Muta's going for a counterattack into the main base. They kill off the 2 photon cannons, almost immediately going to pick off a few probes here as well, causing lost mining time. Paralyze has to come back. Like, this is how you really win a game, is you make someone continually go back to their base for that defense. Just Paralyze losing any sort of attack that he may have thought that he could do well. There are a couple of DTs on the way. I think that's going to be for sneaky purposes. I don't think we're going to see anything like a Dark Arc on this game. I think it's way too slow at this point to make something like that work out. If you get it, like, preemptively, it's really, really strong. But, yeah, not in a case like this. So the DTs maybe slip out, see if they can deny a base, maybe run in at some point, like, as a counterattack. I love that rally, though. It kind of prevents things like that from occurring. Now, here goes Paralyze. He's going to walk out. This is the 3rd base for Paralyze. Trying to go ahead and get some more economy. Of course, no gas there. This is a mineral-only base, but maybe the most easily defendable one based on your zoning area. You know, there's not like a ton of terrain around there. Yeah, see, he tried to sneak the DTs, and the rally point of the Hydras at the bottom of the ramp, just catching those so beautifully. Just a little bit of defense left at home as well. Yeah, I think Paralyze has 1 big attack in him. Or possibly, if XiaoShuai attacks in really poorly, I think 2 very poor attacks that Paralyze just rips apart can get Paralyze back in this game. Right? StarCraft's a funny game like that, where it's like, yeah, he's so far ahead that, like, even if the entire army gets wasted once pretty bad, he should have enough to still hold on. But let's see. Let's see. I mean, this is a lot of storms. Paralyze going for that 1 attack. He can't refill this army. He's got no real bank. 33 probes only. Not a good economy. So he's really got to make this work. Now, that is some very clumped Hydras. That's a great Psystorm that goes down. The Muta's coming in for a bit of a flank. My God, another amazing Psystorm, though, honestly. A good one on those Mutas as well. And another really good Psystorm, but he's going to have, like, 1 left. He's about to have 1 more Psystorm. Yeah, and it goes down. It's still a good one, but with just the Dragoons, not much of a chance here from Paralyze. It does look like XiaoShuai is going to take game number 1 here in this 9-game series. A very strong victory for sure. I mean, that's got to hurt as Paralyze, right? You're kind of expecting yourself to be able to beat someone who is not a Korean pro gamer. But XiaoShuai just showing very solid decision making, doing a great job, and you know, I think those mutas especially sealing that victory. All right, GG is called. XiaoShuai leads 1-0.